It's about time with Rashawn. It's about time boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. Y'all already know my spill. I got a special guest in the building today. Uh, this is my son. This is little Rashawn. So this is baby bout time. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
This is my man right here. All right. Um, Thank you to every single one of y'all who has been taking out the time to watch the videos, like the videos, share the videos, and leave the comments. If you have not already subscribed to the channel and you're watching this video or any of my videos for the first time, please hit that subscribe button and do not forget to hit that notification bell so you can stay up on the latest with Rashawn's About Time Boxing. All right, so we're going to jump straight to it. Uisima Lima and Jaron Ennis. Statement made. Now, it's a lot of y'all out there, that don't want to give Boots credit for his win against Lima. And that's cool. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, salute to my man Amin Ennis, Derek Pooh Ennis, and Farad Quiet Storm Ennis. We said it, man. You know what I'm saying? Farad, we talked about that. You know what I mean? Because listen, man, we said if he, if he beat Lima, but he let Lima hang around, or if he don't look good winning, they gonna say Boots need to go back down to 147. He don't need to be up there. Them guys is too big. But if he beat him too fast, then the critics gonna say, Lima ain't nobody. He never fought nobody anyway. So he should have never been in the ring with Boots. But it's funny how y'all, how a lot of y'all critics and you, Ak Reyes, yeah, I know you really don't like Boots, but you trying to keep that little window open. You know what I mean? You want to, because once he starts steamrolling through everybody at 154, then, you want to keep that room open so you can have him on your show. But I can see it in your face and your body language the night of that fight. You really don't like Boots, but it's cool. It's cool. Because once he start knocking down everybody at 154, I don't want to hear nobody saying nothing. Vergil Ortiz, yeah, you got to take care of your business. You got to take care of your business with Erickson Lubin. Now, if Lubin is in shape and he really show up, then Ortiz gonna get exposed. But if Lubin, if he not really in shape and he just showing up to get a payday, then you might see Ortiz, very well do the same thing to Lubin that Boots did to Lima, but it just might take him a little longer, maybe midway through the fight or later in the fight. It's possible. And salute to Greg Hackit, man. I rocks with Greg Hackit. I support his content. You know what I mean? He one of the most educated minds in the sport of boxing. He definitely know the sport. But he made a prediction. Half of his prediction was right. One half he said that he thought that Lima was going to knock Boots down and Boots was going to get up and give Lima the beating of his life. Well, Boots definitely gave Lima the beating of his life, but he didn't knock Boots down. And I didn't agree with, because I knew, first of all, I already said that skill wise, you know what I mean, and Boots, his boxing IQ, Lima wasn't going to be able to contend with that. You know what I mean? I knew Lima wasn't going to be able to contend with that. You good, buddy? You all right? So I knew Lima wasn't going to be able to contend. I knew he wasn't going to be able to contend with that. Now, and Lima, honestly, was the bigger of the two. He was the bigger of the two. He was bigger than Boots. You know what I mean? He was bigger than Boots. But you heard, Boots say, 154. He said he loved it. He feel comfortable there. You know what I mean? He had a lot of energy. He didn't feel sluggish, you know what I mean? Or nothing like that. But Bozy told him, listen, don't go out here playing with this guy. You got to go out there and make a statement. Stick to the game plan. And Jaron Ennis followed the game plan to a T. It's just that nobody wasn't expecting him to get Lima out that fast. I figured he would stop Lima. I predicted, like I said, he would stop Lima. I knew he would stop him, but I said he would stop him between like 7 and 9 and maybe 8 and 10, because I thought Lima would have been around a little more. But see, that just goes to show you. Now y'all can sit up there and talk about, how Boots ain't really fighting nobody and all that. And for that idiot who made that comment, who said that, when Lubin was 22 years old, he was fighting world champion, and when Boots was 22, he was fighting cab drivers or some crap like that. First of all, and this is no disrespect to Erickson Lubin, because I actually like Erickson Lubin, so there's no disrespect to him. But Lubin wasn't the type of threat at 22 years old that Jaron Ennis was at 22 years old. So people wasn't, in a hurry to line up to give Boots the type of opportunities that they was giving Lubin. Because Lubin, he's known for his skill, not for his power. Boots is known for his skill, his power. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, you hear Stephen Breadman Edwards and anybody, they tell you, when you in the gym with this kid, you better show up in shape, because he going to take you through it. You can't show up to box this kid, to spar Boots, and you not in shape or nothing like that. He gonna tear you apart. Yeah, he got that innocent baby looking face, but he's a killer in that ring. He's a killer in that ring. Ooh, yeah. He stopped Lima 1 minute 58 seconds. The Macho Man said that Jaron Ennis would get the victory, and he got the victory in the first round. Now he just put 154 on notice. Ooh, yeah. Reyes, I know you don't like Boots, and I could see it in your face and in your body language, but it doesn't matter, because Jaron Ennis is not going to stop until he takes over the 154 division. Oh, yeah. Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya, Brian Norman Jr. Now, I know y'all got y'all trash to talk about Boots beating Uisima Lima. Y'all can try to talk about him, and how Lima didn't belong in the ring with him, but y'all fought Jin Sasaki, who was naturally the smaller guy. So for real, realistically, that was weight bullying. Jin Sasaki never, for real, he never opposed any threat to y'all. He wasn't the type of, Jin Sasaki wasn't the type of threat to Brian Norman Jr. like Lima was to Boots. Lima had only got one loss, and he's only been stopped. I mean, he's never been stopped. Lima's never been stopped. But Sasaki was stopped, well, once before Brian Norman Jr., but two with Brian Norman Jr. But once he was stopped by somebody named Andy Hiroka or something like that. But he got stopped by him first. You know what I mean? So, but he came up from, I think, lightweight, then super lightweight, and then welterweight to fight Brian Norman. So he was naturally the smaller guy. And you can look, if y'all looked at the fight, y'all can see that Brian Norman Jr. was bigger than Jin Sasaki. So y'all can go around bragging about that and then talk about people put on their boots and run. But then y'all don't want to give Boots credit for his win against Uisima Lima. And honestly thinking, let's just hypothetically say Brian Norman Jr. was at 54 fighting Lima. He might have Lima might have went the distance with him. He might have went the distance with Brian Norman, but he didn't go the distance with Boots. And I gave Lima at least, and this is just like based on, other fights and film that I watched on him, I figured Lima would hang around at least for maybe 7 or 8 rounds. So that's why I predicted between 7 and 9 or 8 and 10 that Boots would knock this guy out. You know what I'm saying? So, but he got him out of there a lot earlier. Statement made, credit earned, credit deserved. So y'all can keep stacking the deck against him. And Timothy Bradley, stay on that other side. Stay on the other side. Stop with that flip-flop back and forth stuff. Because when Boots first initially agreed to fight Ortiz at 47, Ortiz people came and changed it to 54 and said, oh, we meant we want to fight at 54. And Boots said, well, I'll fight him if I can, keep my belt and go up. Timothy Bradley gonna talk about all he had to do was talk to the sanctioning body. No, wasn't that easy. Because Boots said, well, if I'd have went up to 54, he would have had to relinquish his title. He didn't want to. He had goals at 47, and he was able to accomplish half that because nobody else down there wanted to fight him. Now, was he able to fight? If Brian Norman and them would have accepted that 1.7, Boots would have had 3 of those belts. He would have had the WBO, the IBF, the WBA, and the Ring magazine. Barrios wasn't trying to fight him. But now let's see how long it takes for all of those guys to fight each other. And Brian Norman Jr., this is his easiest shot at trying to become undisputed down there at 147. Now, should he get past Devin Haney, then, it should be, it should be easy to make those fights. And I promise you, he ain't gonna be crying about no money about fighting Barrios. If they try to make the fight, whatever they offer him, he ain't gonna be crying about no money because he just like, oh, I can get all these belts just so I can say, I was able to do what Boots couldn't do. But Boots wasn't able to get all those belts because a lot of people wasn't in a rush to fight him. It's a difference when people recognize you as a legitimate threat. So again, Timothy Bradley, you was one of the main people saying, Boots ducked that smoke. He ain't want to fight Vergil. He said he was scared and all that. Now you saying Vergil ain't going you now you saying Vergil can't beat Boots. Stop with the flip-flop stuff, man. With that wishy-washy stuff. You know what I mean? Say what you mean and stand on it. Because I know Boots is going, listen, he's going to stop Vergil. Y'all didn't see Vergil against Sergey Bokachuk? He got dropped twice, and it took him like 4 or 5 rounds to give Bokachuk credit, for that, for the second knockdown. And y'all think Vergil can step in that ring, fighting Boots the way he fought Bokachuk? And y'all think he really gonna last? Now that fight, I'm not saying is gonna be a first round knockout, but that fight ain't going 12. I put money on that. That fight ain't going 12. Boots is going to stop Vergil Ortiz. Guarantee you that. And now a lot of y'all seeing it now. And Oscar, you can say all that stuff all you want about, oh, well, who is it? But you heard what Eddie Hearn said. They already agreed to the terms and theirs is already signed. But see, Ortiz is going to wait to see what the outcome is with this Lubin fight. And then he going to try to decide if he want to fight Boots or not. And if the fight don't happen, I don't want to hear y'all blaming Boots and talking about Boots ain't want to fight him and all that. Y'all heard him mention everybody's name. Charlo, Fundora, all of them. Tim Tszyu, Xander, they all can get it. They all can get it. The PIAC tour starts now. They all can get it. So when Boots beat up whoever your favorite fighter is at 154, and I'm waiting for y'all to drop the comments in the comment section below. Go ahead and say, oh, Lima ain't this, Lima ain't that, Boots cherry picking. I'm waiting to hear all that. I'm waiting to hear all that. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear all that. I'm waiting for y'all to say, oh, he cherry picked. Lima ain't this, Lima ain't that. I'm waiting for it. See, a lot of y'all keep forgetting just because y'all never really heard of a fighter and all that type of stuff don't mean that they can't, that they can't oppose no threat. Look at the Heat boot courts after he fought Karen twice. Oh, he couldn't knock him out. Second fight, he knocked him down. And Karen wanted to quit. He was just trying to survive in the second fight because he knew what was going on. And Boots was doing that stuff, knowing that he should have already been at one. He should have already went up and fought at 154 already. And that's what Brian Norman Jr. and Senior waited for. They waited for him to go up, knowing that he ain't coming back down. Now y'all want to talk about he went up because he ain't want to fight us. And y'all was offered the fight while y'all was in Japan. They said, okay, we'll get y'all the $2 million. Oh, we just trying to focus on this fight right here. His father always talking about, oh, we got receipts. Oh, we got receipts. Yeah, right. Yeah, y'all got receipts for running. Because y'all definitely ran from Boots. But he did what he needed to do. Because it take heart for anybody to step in that ring. And if you've never been in that ring, you never had them gloves on, you never felt them punches, it's easy for y'all to say, he cherry picked or Lima this or Lima that or Boots ain't this or Boots ain't that. Okay. Told y'all. Anytime he making these people, every time, like even when he was coming up, all these people wasn't even, it's all these other channels now. All of a sudden, all these people, they talking about Boots this, Boots that. When I was doing videos about Boots, all these other channels, a lot of these other channels was saying he wasn't gonna be nothing. Wait till he get under the bright lights. He gonna fold. When he was waiting for these moments. And he was fighting who they put in front of him. Why? Because there were a lot of other people who agreed to fight him on paper. But when they saw exactly who it was that they had to fight, they said, no, we cool. Just like it was a well-known fighter. I'm not going to say his name, but he came to Philadelphia with his team. And he sat there and was watching Boots spar. And when he saw that he was going to have to get in there next, he whispered something to his people. They picked up his gear and they left. And he said, I'm not getting in there with that kid. But see, all y'all naysayers and doubters, y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. And like I said, no disrespect to Lugan. If he show up in shape and ready to go, he gonna give Ortiz some problems. But how could Vergil Ortiz say that he the best fighter in the world after the way he looked fighting Sergey Bokochuk? And it was after that fight. He said that he was the best fighter in the world. Y'all really believe that? Nah. Vergil Ortiz is in trouble and he know it. And again, to you, Ak Reyes, come on, man. Stop that. I seen it in your face. I seen it in your body language. Somebody, you don't think they should fight next. Yeah, because you want Boots to keep fighting people in hopes that he'll lose or something to happen so you can say, oh, see, he's not ready for Vergil. Look at how he looked against this person. Look at how he looked against this person. But I didn't hear you say nothing about how Vergil looked against Sergey Bokochuk. And Vergil won that fight, and he looked bad winning that fight. And yet, y'all gave him all the credit in the world. All the credit in the world. And don't talk to me about Boots and Terrence Crawford. They on two totally different missions. Terrence Crawford is stamped and solidified. I'm enjoying the ride watching Boots solidify his own legacy in his career. That's what he's doing. He's building right now. I'm enjoying watching this. Terrence Crawford already established himself. He can do whatever he want in the sport right now. If he want to retire, cool. If he want to fight again, cool. He got the right to pick and choose whoever he wants to. After he dominated the so-called face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, dominated him and made him look bad. And Canelo made it clear he didn't want that rematch. So the fight with Terrence Crawford and Boots, that fight may never happen. And I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. Boots is doing his own thing right now in the same way Terrence Crawford planted his own flag, because guess what? Truth be told, the deck was stacked against Bud too when he was coming up through the ranks. They tried to bury Terrence Crawford. His own promoter talked bad about him in public, talking about he could have had mansion built on money that he lost promoting him and all that. Yeah, look at him now. Look at him now. He's the face of boxing. Now he's atop the sport. Dare somebody say something different. And Boots is establishing himself to become the face of boxing. Y'all just don't want to see it happen. Y'all just don't want to see it happen. There's a 10-year age difference. Boots is 28. Bud is 38. Bud can ride off into the sunset and enjoy the rest of his life and all the money he made. It's Boots time now. Let him do that. Let him work. But see, a lot of y'all just scared because the fighters that y'all favor against him, he gonna whoop they you know what. He's gonna beat the you know what out of them. And see, it's not gonna, hey, I mean, just like we said before, man, it don't even matter. Farad, like we said before, it don't even matter. It don't matter how good he looked beating somebody. Same thing they did with Floyd. No matter who Floyd Mayweather beat, instead of giving Floyd credit for it, they tried to find a reason why his opposition lost, rather than to give Floyd credit for dominating the fighter. And y'all did it with Terrence Crawford, and now y'all doing it with Boots. And go ahead and say, oh, there's no comparison with them three. Yeah. When you look at the scheme of how, they try to stack the deck against them and how people try to say they wasn't worth this or worth that because they said it about Bud. They said it about Floyd. Floyd wasn't worth this. A lot of people didn't want to fight Floyd. But after he dismantled Oscar and knocked Oscar off the throne, next thing you know, now everybody gunning for Floyd. Same people who were saying Floyd wasn't worth fighting. Floyd wasn't a draw. Same people was talking about Terrence Crawford wasn't a draw. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. And that's what everybody's saying about Boots. He ain't a draw. He can't sell. Yeah, 15,000, damn near 15,000 strong. Sold out. Sold out. Oh, yeah. So put him in front of him. He gonna knock him down. But y'all can keep doubting him. Y'all can keep going against him. Y'all can keep saying he ain't this, he ain't that. It's cool. Y'all can keep saying that. But he 35-0 with 31 knockouts. And he won that WBA interim title. So 154, junior middleweight, if you will, you've been put on notice. And y'all can say whatever y'all want. And those of y'all who saying, oh, we could have did the same thing to Lima at 54. Charlo, all y'all, go ahead and say it. But let's see how fast. Or let's see how fast y'all, or let's see if y'all willing. Let's see how fast y'all line up to sign the contract to fight Jaron Ennis. And so for those of y'all who don't like what I'm saying, who disagree with what I'm saying, go ahead and drop y'all comments because I know they coming. Drop them. I'm waiting. The PIAC tour is just getting started. This is all I got for now. Until the next one. Tell everybody peace. Peace.